do it. I got my lights on.
And it won't go to podfeed.com quite yet, but we'll be there soon.
Okay. Finally.
Okay, we are on YouTube. I need to get it on Podfeed. Hold on.
Okie dokie. Well, we are close, guys. As soon as we go live on Podfeed, I think that's when I need to change my audio settings. Actually, I'm going to go change them over in Discord right now to make sure I don't hear. Oh, no, they're already set the way I want them. All right. How do I turn audio on in Discord? All right, Sandy's got them covered.
Is this show 717?
718.
Okay, hold on.
I don't think that's the most important thing right now, but go ahead. All right. I'm going to go ahead and start working in Hindenburg. I do our NosillaCast intro down here.
And all right, we are streaming on Podfeed.
All right, we are finally here.
We apologize the wrong show for number.
Technical difficulties. Can you live with that?
I can live with it.
You can probably edit that real time. It won't matter.
Yeah, it won't. It'll show up later, but I can do that now.
18. Okay, well, let's take roll call already. We've got Steve and Sandy and Kevin. And let's see, Alan and Brett and Dave. Got a pair of Daves. We got a George, possibly a Jedi. We've got Dorothy. We got a John. We got a John, pair of Johns. We got a Rick. Somebody coming in on Titanbot. And Frank to wheel up to the end of the row. So it looks like we're ready to go. We have a lot to do here. So, you know what I forgot to do, Steve? I forgot to bring up the... Oh, I hope that Drobo's done connecting, or I'm not going to have those files. We had some fun with our Drobo today. Yeah, actually. Yeah, why don't you do that? I'm going to do a SMB mount of it right now, see if it's there. I was doing a Drobo update, which was poor timing. Forgot those are there. You probably have copies of those files on your Mac, or no?
I do.
Oh, okay. So you could put them in a folder on my desktop, maybe?
I could.
Oh, no, it came up. We're good to
yeah.
go. All right. I am going to start recording because I think it's well past time. What do you think, Steve?
Yes.
All right, let's just hit it. I am going to assume you guys can hear me unless Steve yells at me otherwise. Here we go. All right, here we go. Hi. Wait, what happened? I don't know what's wrong with that, but it did not start at the beginning of the show. Let's go all the way there. Let's go there. And let's do this. Up there. There we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeed.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, February 10th, 2019. And this is show number 718. Well, before we dig into the show, I wanted to tell you about something amazing. I've worn glasses since I was around 12 years old. I'm nearsighted, so I can't see distance. Over the years, I've been informed that I had a pretty bad astigmatism in my right eye. For many years, I wore what's called a toric contact lens. Toric lenses have a different focusing power on the vertical and horizontal axes to compensate for the distortion of the astigmatism. Now, the tricky bit is that this lens has to be weighted so that it stays aligned properly. If it gets off axis, of course, everything gets all, funhouse mirror looking inside in your vision. Well, that works reasonably well with contacts until you try to lie on your side to watch TV or read because it turns 90 degrees, which again gets back to the funhouse mirror thing. The best part, though, of the toric lenses is that they're also super expensive. Anyway, after about 20 years wearing contacts, I got old and I started to lose my close vision too. So I had to wear glasses over my contacts in order to see up close. I got weary of that and I said, okay, let's just go with glasses from now on. But about a year ago, when I got my new prescription sunglasses, I explained to the optometrist that they hadn't made them properly because my vision was not clear out in the sun. I pointed out that they had made non sunglasses with the exact same frames and they were fine. So clearly they did something wrong with those sunglasses. We all assumed it was because they hadn't gotten the axis rotated correctly to compensate for the astigmatism. So I made them remake them twice. Guess what? Turns out that wasn't the problem. I had actually gotten quite a good going cataract going in that eye, and it was getting worse. The effect of the cataract is to scatter light. So when I looked at, say, a stoplight, for example, I would see an entire second light a full diameter away from the real one. And this, of course, was affecting my vision out in bright light as well. But this is actually fantastic news. I'm sure you've heard of cataract surgery, and maybe you know someone who's had it done. Last Monday, I had that cataract removed, which means they actually take out the whole entire lens. I'll admit that it was a bit creepy to think of someone putting a knife in my eye and pulverizing the lens and then vacuuming it out. But in reality, the surgery took like 5 to 10 minutes, and there was zero pain. I mean, I was in and out of the center where they did the repair in about an hour and 45 minutes. Now, it turns out astigmatisms can be caused by the lens itself or the cornea that covers the lens. If you're lucky, it's just in the lens, so they pop in a new man made lens and you no longer have an astigmatism. I wasn't that lucky. It happened to also be in the cornea. The good news is they can put in a permanent toric lens, and that removes the astigmatism entirely as well. Now, they have to anchor it in place so you don't have that same problem of a rotating lens. I have to tell you, my vision is amazing now. I chose a focal distance of 50 millimeters, which is about 19 inches in freedom units, as Marianne Gary would say. Turns out 19 inches is the distance to my computer screen. I can see the screen like I have never seen it before. It's like I feel like I went from a standard def television to an OLED 4K TV overnight. I can see people's pores. I took a photo of Tesla the other day and I kind of frowned at it because it looked like Apple's algorithms had seriously over sharpened the image. I showed it to Steve and to the kids. Steve said, "No, that's normal. That's what it always looks like." This is unbelievable. I mean, have you ever had like a really nice new font that's like super crisp and clear and you really love it? It's like that's what my whole world is like. I got to tell you, I'm programming by stealth about every 2 to 3 episodes. I complained to Bart about his website design. It was designed nearly a decade ago, and it isn't at all responsive. But worst of all, his font is wee tiny, and you can't embiggen it without the text falling outside of the fixed width of the main content. Now, he's been redesigning it, all using Bootstrap, of course, and it will be amazing, but I still whine at him all the time because we haven't gotten to see it yet. But guess what? I can read his blog now. I can even shrink the font. I told him I'll continue to push him, though, for everyone else who hasn't just received instantly improved vision. Now, the only problem with cataract surgery is that it takes about a month for your prescription to settle out. So for the next month, I can't get new glasses for distance vision. I obviously can't wear the old ones because that's not my prescription anymore. It's like wearing someone else's glasses. So for now, I've poked out the right lens and it looks really dumb. It's really hard to see with two different focal lengths on that. It's really hard. I can't poke out the lens on my sunglasses, but get this. The vision is so good in my right eye that when the pupil narrows in bright light, I can actually see distance better in my new eye without correction at distance than I can with the left eye with correction. Guess why that is? Turns out my left eye has cataract too. Now all I have to do is convince my surgeon that it's bad enough to do that one too, and I will truly have stereo bionic vision. As you can tell, I'm super excited about this. And if you come to the live show, I didn't want you to be confused as to why I am no longer wearing glasses. Well, this week's Chit Chat Across the Pond is another installment of Programming by Stealth. In this episode, Bart Bouchat spends most of the time walking us very carefully through each of the methods he used to solve the challenge from last time. He does a great job of reminding us of things we've learned, in some cases more than a year ago, and showing how they were applied for this particular problem. I am quite proud of one little thing I discovered that Bart didn't know had been introduced in HTML5. It's one of those things where if you already know a tool, it's hard to learn the new stuff about it, but I didn't know any better, and I found something he didn't know about. Anyway, after he was done walking through the challenge, he introduces Bootstrap spinners. These are visual indicators that allow the user to know that some operation is going on that's going to take some time, and it lets them know that things aren't just broken. The whole episode was great fun. If you'd like to get on the Programming by Stealth train, just look for it in your podcatcher of choice or use the link in the show notes to listen along at podfeed.com. I'm going to stop there.
Hey, I can't get your screen. This is what I get, that frozen image from before.
Okay, you want to take a chance and screw it all up again?
Maybe not.
I'm thinking we don't watch my screen tonight.
Okay.
What do you think?
So this is
we can try.
This is a good look, though. I kind of like that.
What is it?
It's you.
It's me frozen?
When you were listening with one ear off, one cam off.
That's really lumpy. Well, I tell you what, we do have a fix. If I refresh the screen and you get the feedback, then I just close that window. We now know that tab in the browser was causing it.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to refresh it. We'll see what happens. I really think we should keep fooling with this, Steve.
Well, it bothers me we don't know what did it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's me. I want to go to application window, go to that. And then we got to share the output. Did it just freeze again?
Yeah. So it's weird. It's almost like that feedback loop is not, or that channel is not working to get your screen. Maybe.
Okay.
That's okay. Yeah. We go on without it.
Kill it.
It's killed.
I'm going to kill the tab so you can't show it to anybody.
Oh, you didn't like that? I still got it.
How do you still have it?
It captures the last frame and freezes it in Mimo.
That's nifty. To listen along at podfeed.com. Okay, here we go.
Did you save?
I might have. I don't know if I want to do chapter mark. I'm still doing the upfront spam right now.
Okay.
I don't usually chapter mark those. Any second now. Allison is blooming. What am I blooming about? Am I too bright?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, here we go. Muting Steve. This week, I was a guest host on the SMR podcast with only Rod Simmons in attendance. We talked a lot about home automation. We discussed... Okay, too many clubs in that one so far. This week, I was a guest host on the SMR podcast with only Rod Simmons in attendance. We talked a lot of home automation. We discussed Facebook's heinous behavior with their research app. We talked about the scary keychain bug Bart will be telling you about in this show in Security Bits, and how much Rod loves his new iPad and I complain about Apple. Check it out at the link in the show notes, or look for the SMR podcast in your podcatcher of choice. Well, speaking of vision and glasses, this next interview from CES is pretty relevant. And drop an IQ. All right, let me hear that. Oh, that should have a chapter marker. I got to keep being entertaining because do you usually show my screen or not normally?
I show your screen when you're live recording. Usually.
You do?
Usually, yeah.
Oh, I was trying really hard to look at the audience that time and be entertaining.
No, I'm sorry. In the lower third, I show your screen.
Oh, instead of you.
Right. I replace me, so I don't have to be live all the time. I don't like being.
So
live.
You have to be live and can't pick your nose or anything.
Exactly.
That's good.
That's no fun.
What is SMR? It used to stand for Simple Mobile Review, but that was really hard to say. So they said, it's just called SMR now. It's three guys. It's over at smrpodcast.com. Well, that's an interesting username who just joined the server.
That's not pronounceable. It looks
Keep
like
an eye on that name.
That looks like a good password.
Yeah, maybe it is. Copy it down. All right, I'm going to mute you. Shoot. It's pretty relevant. I'm in the IQ booth with Jamie Neal, and she's got these weird white glasses that have nothing in them. Do you have a screenshot of me looking stupid with those on? Oh, I muted you. All right. Well, that was pretty cool. I'm not sure I believe in it. It'll be really interesting to see whether this is maybe a really disruptive technology that's going to change the way we get our eyeglasses prescription. It's really important to go to the eye doctor, get your eyes checked out like once a year because you kind of really want those things to work as long as you can. So I'm not sure it's the greatest idea to bypass going to the eye doctor. Plus, they give you a prescription and you can take it anywhere you want anyway. I'm not really sure whether this solves a problem we should be avoiding the eye doctor. Anyway, let's listen to the next interview.
So that bizarre name is George.
Is it really?
He said
Is that his password?
Discord assigned him that.
George Conant? Or George?
Well, I assume George from Tulsa, but I'm not positive.
We have George C in the. Is that still
no,
his?
George C is still there.
Well, how do you know that this is George?
He just said, thanks to Discord, that bizarre name is George.
Oh, he came in as a bot. Okay, is that George from Tulsa? Or is it George from LK parenthesis dash 9IY?
LK parenthesis.
Big at all.
But it came in as a bot. Yeah, how did that happen?
Oh, so he came in through the web interface instead of, he doesn't like to create an account. That's why.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. So our next one is Votion. These guys have an interesting business model. They do their own home automation, but they also help other companies get certification as for HomeKit. I recall this is a pretty long interview, isn't it? What are you laughing about? Steve?
Well, I just put your pod feed up there for a bit.
Why?
So I wouldn't have to be live.
So you could pick your nose?
I just don't want people to know when I'm not listening.
Well, I'll tell you when he's not listening. All the time. In real life.
That's a good question. George wants to know if
Thank
there's...
you. Well, that was pretty... Does anyone know if there's an IRC equivalent of Nick change? I'm sure there is, because TJ changes his all the time.
TJ, can you help out?
He turned into a toaster or something. Like right now.
Is it slash Nick?
I think his name is Dot. Okay, Kevin's in charge of nose picking. Good to know.
We'll need a reminder, Kevin.
It's good that we have roles. In fact, Steve, can you change him from wingman to nose picker?
Master nose picker.
Okay, why aren't you going to the end of this? There we go. Okay, come on. What are you doing? There we go. All right. I get to do a blog post now. Ring of Security. Where was that? That was quite a ways back. I hope it's... Oh, no. Steve, you have done so many blog posts. Oh, no, there it is. It just barely made the cut. My Mars Edit, I have it only keep a certain number of blog posts, and you've done so many in the last week that mine got down to the very bottom. Okay, whoever is PixKurt5512 thinks there's no feed. So can you help him, Steve?
I'll get him.
I'm muting you. What's that one? It's going to be a long show. How long is that one? Doesn't say. That's weird. All right. Here we go. Oh, chapter marker. I forgot this. Why do I have night eyes up? 718. There we go. Preview. Come on. Okay. All right. Bring. Whoops. Rumug. And that. And this. Copy link. Okay. Now, save and add chapter markers. Two-hand nose picking. All right. I'm glad we've stuck with this and got it. Why is it still calling it Rumug? I typed it twice with an I.
Where are you?
Oh, it's
in
rim
the program?
I'm putting you can't see it, but I'm putting the chapter name in, and I typed it wrong the first time, and it kept changing it back to the wrong thing. All right, I'm finally ready. Nope, I'm not. Doot, doot. There it is. Preview that one. There we go. All right, muting Steve because I can hear his keyboard. There we go. You know, home automation is kind of like a sickness. First, you get a couple of light bulbs and you do party tricks like, changing them from blue to green. Then you realize that doesn't really solve any problem. But in the back of your brain, that little virus starts to fester. You realize maybe there is a good use for them. Maybe being able to turn them on and off when you're not home will make people think you are home. Perhaps you get a motion detector and the lights magically turn on when you walk into the room. Then you start thinking about HomeKit scenes, or maybe you want to play with IFTTT. You think, if I only had a smart thermostat, I could blink my lights when the temperature got too hot and send me a notification on my phone so I could trigger the fan so my dog doesn't overheat. It starts pretty small, and pretty soon you're one of us. To date, Steve and I have installed Hue lights, Hue motion detector, 4 Wise cams, an August door lock, Ring video doorbell, floodlight cam, and spotlight cam solar, LifeX life strip, Wemo switches, 3 iDevices switches, Rachio smart sprinkler, 2 Nest Protect smoke alarm, CO sensors, Ecobee thermostat, and at least one device that we can't identify. It's on our network and we can't find it. Anyway, there's probably more than that. They seem to replicate like tribbles. With this many automated devices, you think I'd be content. But there was one thing I've been wanting: a smart alarm system. Unfortunately, it was hard to articulate the problem it would solve. You see, we have a built in alarm system from 1989 when the house was constructed. The stupid thing still works flawlessly. You know the kind of problem I'm talking about, like when your 720p TV won't fail and you really want a 4K TV? It's like that. Well, the built in alarm system that we have has sensors on all of the doors and windows, a keypad upstairs, one downstairs, and one in the garage. And it lets off a heck of an alarm in the attic when we accidentally open a door when it's armed. Side story about why that's cool: we have a skylight on which crows love to crack things open. One time they had a big dog biscuit in the shape of a bone up there, and they're whacking it on the skylight. And the problem is the sound in the house is crazy loud, and it really sounds like someone's inside the house. One time, Steve wanted them to knock it off, so we armed the house and purposely opened a door. Fixed that crow problem for nearly 10 minutes. Well, the only thing this alarm system can't do is be remotely armed and disarmed. We had trouble justifying a whole new alarm system just for that one feature. We were, however, interested in having a monitoring service. We'd never enabled that one on the old one because it was enormously expensive back then. When we went through the bathroom remodel of Doom, trademark Donald Burr, we realized there really was a problem to be solved. We gave our 2 main contractors access to our August lock so they could remotely unlock our door for the plethora of subcontractors such as painters, plumbers, and drywall guys. But since we had a dumb alarm from the 1980s, we had to leave our house unalarmed for 5 months. Notice I didn't tell you that back when it was happening? Yeah, Mama didn't raise no fool. Well, I started trolling around for what all the cool kids were buying these days. I knew a few people who had opted for the Simply Safe system. Simply Safe, let me say that correctly. Anyway, and it looked pretty cool. The monitoring price still looked pretty high to us at $15 a month. Since we'd never had monitoring before and hadn't had a problem, it seemed like $180 a year was pretty steep. I'm sure if we'd ever had a problem where monitoring saved us, $180 per year would sound like pennies. But then I started hearing about how Ring had come out with an alarm system. Here's why their system was more attractive to us. The business model of Ring is designed to slowly let you give them all of your money. Let's say you buy just the Ring video doorbell, the gateway drug. For no fee at all, you can always get motion detection and alerts when someone rings your doorbell and view live video from your doorbell. You can even interact with the person at your doorstep from anywhere in the world. But for only $30 a year, you can have motion and other interactions automatically recorded and view them later. 30 bucks. That's peanuts, right? 30 bucks a year? Sure, give them 30 bucks. Well, you love your Ring video doorbell, so now you decide to buy the Ring floodlight cam. Again, you get motion alerts and live video for free, but if you want to play back events later, that'll cost you a second $30 a year. Now you're starting to think, wait a minute, that's 60 bucks a year. You really want that camera, and you can shut that little voice up by saying, if the doorbell was worth $30 a year, why wouldn't the backyard camera be worth $30 a year? Sure, pay it. And then you put in the Spotlight Cam Solar to watch your side yard. Turns out to be really easy to justify that $30 a year. The reason the third $30 a year is so easy to justify is that once you hit $100 a year, the cost never goes up again. So at $90 per year, you feel like the next thing you add is going to be free. That's good, but it gets even better. If you get the Ring alarm system, they have what they call the Protect Plus plan. This is $100 a year, gives you actual human monitoring, and covers video storage of all of your other Ring devices. Since we have 3 Ring cameras already, that means we get human monitoring of our alarm for only an additional $10 per year. See how I justified that? Only costs us $10 because I'm already giving them 90. You throw this Protect Plus plan in, and you turn off all those other $30 a year. So only felt like $10 a year. Well, with all this justification finally out of the way, I bought Steve the Ring alarm for Christmas. I started with a big combo pack from Costco, which was a much better deal than buying all of the pieces separately. The current price at Costco for the 10-piece kit is $240. That gets you the hub, keypad, range extender, motion detector, and 6 contact sensors. Amazon now owns Ring, so I'll also give you a link to that starter kit on Amazon. For $200 US, you get, a starter kit. It's just a starter kit. And that one is $200. You get the hub, keypad, 1 sensor, and a motion detector. Now, talk about a starter kit. Who has 1 window or door? We needed 14 sensors, 2 keypads, and we'll probably buy a third. Now, your needs are going to vary, of course, from mine. I ended up buying 8 more sensors and the extra keypad directly from Ring for another $300. Ring does have a lot of different combo kits, up to and including a 14-piece kit, but oddly, those are only available at ring.com. You can't get them at Amazon or at Costco. Now, I know I've thrown a whole bunch of numbers out here, so let's talk about grand total. For all the pieces I bought, I spent $540. That's not a small expense. I priced out the same combination of devices on SimpliSafe, and it came out to $500. So the price was pretty much equivalent for the 2 companies. Now remember, Ring's Protect Plus recurring cost is only around $8 a month, which is around half of what you'd pay for SimpliSafe's monitoring. So I'm still going to be ahead over time. Okay, enough about cost. How does this work? Ring has 3 separate modes to the alarm system. The keypad has a ring with 3 buttons 60 degrees apart around the ring. We had to put labels on them because the icons weren't all really meaningful, and because you can't see the ring lights. When the ring lights up, it lights up bright red. And when you're trying to disarm it, you can't see those little icons because the glow is so bright. Well, the first mode they have, so I said there's 3 modes. The first mode is called disarmed. I bet you can figure out what that means. It's pretty obvious. It means you can open any window or door and the alarm won't go off. However, the Ring software lets you designate some doors as main doors. When a main door is open, the hub that you've connected to your router lets off this very pleasing boop boop noise, even when the house isn't alarmed or armed, I guess it is. So let me tell you an example of a problem this solved for me. Shortly after we set up the Ring alarm, I tried to convince our dog Tesla to go outside. I opened the back door, but since it was sprinkling outside and she's a California girl, she refused to go outside. I shut the sliding glass door and I went upstairs. I was playing on my computer when I heard the hub in the next room go boop boop. Well, wait a minute. Tesla was right next to me and Steve was at the door. I knew exactly what had happened. My idiot cats, Ada and Grace, must have opened it. I raced downstairs and sure enough, both cats are frolicking around outside in the rain. I'm sure I must have slid the door almost closed, enough that the sensor was engaged, but I'd left a crack just small enough for a tiny cat paw. I can only picture the 2 of them pulling on the door together to drag it open. That's the weird part. They're ultra strong when they want to get outside. In any case, you see how this works. Now, my only wish is that the little boop boop could be heard throughout the house, but the noise only comes out of the hub that's upstairs plugged into the router. The Ring doorbell and cameras have a little chime that goes off when they sense motion, and you can plug those in anywhere. Why can't those chimes or a device like it make the boop boop noise for me too? I'm sorry, boop boop noise for me too. All right, that's disarmed. Armed is the second mode. When the Ring is armed, if any window is open, the alarm will go off immediately. This is also true of doors that are not designated as main doors. If a main door opens, you get a 60-second delay before the alarm will go off, giving you time to type in your code. When the house is armed, the motion sensor will trigger the alarm as well. This is so that if someone breaks a window but never opens it, you'll still know you have an intruder. We have a relatively large dog and 2 cats, so we had to set the sensitivity down pretty low. They do not trigger it when the house is armed and we're away. The third mode is called home. This is a mode to protect you when you're home. In this mode, the main doors still have some time to be open and let you disarm the alarm, but if a window or non main door is opened, the alarm goes off immediately. The difference between home and armed is that in the home mode, the motion detector does not trigger the alarm. That makes sense, right? You want to be able to wander around your own home. Ring offers monitoring for the first month for free, but we spent the entire month testing scenarios, figuring out what more we needed to buy and making sure we had everything configured properly. Well, we've just actually turned it on, but in many places there's an additional step. I'm not sure if this is just a California thing or if it's a nationwide thing or a global thing, but we have to get a permit from the city if we want to have professional monitoring. With monitoring, if your alarm goes off, they try to call you on the phone. If you don't answer or disarm the alarm, they call your backup phone number. If you still don't answer with the secret answer, they call the police. You can just imagine that false alarms are a problem, even with basically 3 chances to disarm the alarm or prove you're you and not in any danger. I'm not sure what the permit does to discourage those false alarms or what it does to ensure the police actually come to your home. I mean, are they going to go look your permit up in their files before sending the police? If they don't find a permit, are they going to refuse to send the police? In our city, the permit paperwork isn't available electronically, so I can just picture a clerk fishing through paper records as my house is ransacked. Well, the cost of the permit can vary wildly. Our city charges $33 and it's good for 3 years. But our friend Pat Dengler, who lives only about 10 miles away but is in a different city limit, she's being charged $48 and you have to renew it every year. That's half the cost of the monitoring service itself. Again, I'm not sure what that fee is for exactly, but we all follow the rules. There's one more thing to consider in deciding whether you want to incur the expense of a home alarm system. It turns out that some insurance companies in some areas give you a discount on your homeowner's insurance if you have a security system, especially one that's monitored. I don't want to discuss the value of my home or the cost of my insurance, but the discount to us pays off the cost of the purchase of all of this equipment in 2.4 years. And after that, we actually save money by having a monitored alarm system. So something to check into if you're trying to figure out whether you can afford it. The bottom line is that the Ring alarm system has a competitive purchase price. It's really inexpensive for home monitoring, half the price of the top competition that I found, and it has modes to keep you safe while you're home and keep your stuff safe when you're away. We did have to have a contractor come back to do some work recently, and it was awesome that we were able to not only unlock the door for him, but or disarm the alarm remotely. I think we're happy with the Ring system, and if for some reason we aren't happy with the monitoring, I'll be sure to let you know.
So we have two folks join us who haven't been here in a little bit.
Oh, really?
Kaylee.
Kaylee, hi.
And Jamal.
And Jamal, how are you doing? Good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Well, watch you guys type.
watch you chat.
Watch me. Well, that's very funny, you guys, to be here. That's very fun. Speaking of...
It's a holiday for Kaylee, and that's why she's here. Otherwise, she'd be teaching.
Ah, okay. By the way, speaking of Blast from the Past, next week's Chit Chat Across the Pond guest is Donald Burr.
Donald Burr.
Yep.
It's been ages.
I forget what he's going to be talking about, but whatever he wants to talk about, it'll be fun, right?
You bet.
All right. I am going to drop in the Axis interview next.
Oh.
What?
I saw a tail wagging.
Yep. There's a lot of wagging here.
That's a telltale.
Ah, nice, Steve. Let's listen here. Sure to let you know. We've done a lot of work on smart home stuff at the NosillaCast, but the one thing I've never talked to anybody about is smart shades. So smart shades. We're so excited about this one. We bought one. We've got a ship date now, right, Steve?
It has shipped. I think it arrives tomorrow.
That's what I said. We have a ship date.
I just don't remember what it is.
Okay. I forgot a chapter mark. Axis gear. Whoops. I don't capitalize the second word.
You did a chapter mark. Save.
I said I'm doing it now.
Good.
How exciting. URL title. Where's this? I need this automated. Dorothy, automate this for me.
Is Dorothy here?
I'm sure there's a...
Yeah, there she is.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. Nose picking part 2. Okay, that's fine. Hang on, I gotta check something here. TJ sent me a secret message. Oh, he wrote, I bet you could get me the answers, TJ. All right. So, did I already play that? Yeah, I did. Play that intro. Next. Come on. Come on. Come on.
How's the screen look with that new bionic eye of yours?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it is like the most beautiful font I've ever seen. I am, it's been a week and I'm still like, whoa.
Tell the chat
I look
room.
at Tesla, I can see the hairs, every separate hair on her now.
She actually has individual hairs. It's not just a carpeting.
Did you see what Dorothy just wrote? I will need a complete requirements document, an ICD, and an initial budget before any work can be started. What's ICD? I don't know that one.
Interface control document.
Oh, okay. Oh, Sandy says I have far too many blinds to be able to automate them, at least 10. Yeah, this thing is what, like $200 or something?
So George is asking if you got the adjustable lens.
No, they have lenses that are will actually do close and far, but they haven't really perfected them yet. They get halos, and some people can train their brain to stop noticing it, but a lot of people can't. So I've worn glasses my whole life. I don't mind wearing them for distance. That's fine. But I didn't realize I would only need them. Like, I need them to watch TV is the main thing. Like, and at night, obviously driving, but that's it. Get her a 10-year-old screen and listen to her scream.
Relate to the audience about the photo.
I did.
Oh, okay.
So you remember that part about...
Yeah, but you talked about it live. You didn't say photograph. Okay, that's fine.
Remember that part about when does Steve not listen?
You talked about seeing all the hairs in Tesla, right?
No. Okay, I will tell the story again, but I did do it on the show just now.
Oh, on the show, okay. Oh, it's part of your...
it.
Okay,
yes.
Got it.
And I said, so I took a picture of Tesla. I thought it was over sharpened. Steve said, no, that's what it always looks like.
We have some new people to the show here tonight. So they joined late, so they needed to hear.
It's, I mean, I can see people's pores.
Not always a good thing.
Oh, it looks like Wingman figured out how to change his name. Not
it'll be
one cohesive video.
It'll be a two-parter.
You better name it right.
Yeah.
We only have 11 minutes left.
Starting it up here again. And I'll tell you when it's up.
Well, hi, Kurt. By the way, are you new here? Have you been here before? Pix Kurt? I had not. I don't recognize that. I don't think we've ever had a Kurt, have we? Did Facebook purchase? Came by once before. Okay.
All right, we are streaming on YouTube. Let me get that back on Podfeet.
I'm not allowed to play until he's done. It's back. I'm back. We seem to be having much technical difficulty tonight, so we had audio problems to start, so now we had video problems. Why not? Right?
Right.
Okay.
I'm not quite there. Hold on.
They say it's back, Steve.
On YouTube, it's back. It's not back on Podfeet.
Sandy says it's back on Podfeet.
Really? Oh, they gave me the same link. Interesting.
Oh, might not be right.
Cool. I thought I'd get a new link. Okay, we're good.
Okay, muting Steve. Goodbye. Well, Steve and I were so intrigued by the Axis gear that we've actually ordered one and it has already shipped. So stay tuned. I'm sure we'll do a review and find out whether it solves a problem Steve has, which is having to open the curtains for me every morning and close them at night. So stay tuned. I just learned something. I can live move things around. I created a gap between that and the next segment that I'd already dragged in for Gunner Optics. And I saw I was going to run into it and I just dragged it over real time. That was cool. Didn't know I could
Nice.
do that. I think I'll put in a chapter mark.
That would be appropriate.
So it's really Gunner all capital letters, right?
Yeah, I decided to go ahead and copy the way they name themselves.
Yeah, you didn't in the file name, so I just want to make
No.
sure that wasn't
No,
my
I don't do that with
imagination.
file names.
Don't believe in it?
No. All caps in a file name just should not be done.
Well, they're all supposed to be lowercase. God intended. Copy link. Wait. Yeah, so what I have to copy, I have to go back and forth, double tap, back and forth, copy. Nope, that's not it. Copy. No, copy. There we go. Dorothy, you need to fix this. Okay.
Sure, blame it on Dorothy.
So stay tuned. Well, everybody who is listening or watching this is a nerd who likes to sit in front of the computer, look at their phone. It's a little rapid, didn't it? Night. So stay tuned. Do a little teeny more gap than that. Uh-oh, George is still watching last week. So stay tuned. Well, with Allison's new eye, she just realized Steve got her an SE30. Nice. All right. So I went out searching for scientific evidence of whether it really does cause a lot of eye strain to look at a computer for a long time, and this whole blue light thing, whether these yellow glasses work. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't find a lot of medical evidence that any of this makes a difference, but they did look really cool, and that guy was really energetic about the topic. He said he'd send me a pair if I sent him my prescription, but now I don't have a prescription, so we'll see. I might just check them out. This week, I was helping my friend Diane figure out whether she needed a new MacBook and whether she should spend her money on new iPads for herself and her husband. We're pretty sure getting her old Mac repaired is the way to go, but that meant she would be without her computer for a couple of weeks. I suggested that she borrow one of my spare Mac laptops. They're not great, but if she booted to an external SSD with her own OS and apps and data on it, it would certainly be workable. I suggested that she get the 1 terabyte Samsung T5 external SSD that costs $280 on Amazon and run a full clone backup using SuperDuper from ShiftPocket. Then I got to thinking, this device comes with a USB-C connector or a USB-A connector, depending on how you want to buy it. If she got the USB-A version, she'd be able to plug it in right now, but eventually when she upgraded her Mac, she'd have to use a dongle for a very long time. Maybe it would be better to buy the USB-C version so she could future-proof. Stumbling. Actually, I've got a typo I got to fix in this too. It says $28. I'm pretty sure it's $280. Can somebody look this link up for me and tell me whether it's what the price is? I think it's $28. Maybe it would be better.
$218.
$218. Okay.
Yeah, $217.99. And it's on, it's constantly varying, but right, that's the price today.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this over again.
That's the 1 terabyte.
Let's see. This week, I was helping my friend Diane figure out whether she needed it. That's where I should cut it right there. Here, cut that. There we go. Preview. This is actually an Amazon ad. Ha! Disguised as a text story. Stop making noise.
What was that?
Sounds. Well, that was a dog flap. Okay, here we go. This week, I was helping my friend Diane figure out whether she needed a new MacBook or whether she should spend her money on new iPads for her and her husband. We're pretty sure getting her old Mac repaired is the way to go, but that meant she would be without her computer for a couple of weeks. I suggested that she borrow one of my spare Mac laptops. They're not great, they're pretty old, but if she booted to an external SSD with her own OS and apps and data on them, it would be certainly be workable. That could work. I suggested that she get the 1 terabyte Samsung T5 external SSD for only $218 and then run a full clone backup using Super Duper from Shirt Pocket software. Then I got to thinking this device comes with a USB-C connector or a USB-A connector. If she got the USB-A version right now, she wouldn't need to use a dongle. But if she eventually upgraded her Mac, which she will someday, she'd have to use a dongle for a very long time to make that work. Maybe it would be smarter to buy the USB-C version so she could future-proof it and then buy a dongle for the short term. I found the Elebase USB-C female to USB-A male adapter, which is only $9 on Amazon, and you get two of them. I'm not sure what she's going to do since I'm just making her spend even more money when she was trying to save money, but I thought it was an interesting solution. It also gave me the excuse to give her and you just now a bunch of Amazon affiliate links to the products I recommend. What was that for slick? Hey, would you stop making ear flappy noises? Go find dad. One of our things we like to do is tell her to go find the other person. We'll go find dad. And then he'll say, go find mom. Yeah, there she goes. Go find dad. Actually, we should see if we can get them to be able to see us doing this to the poor thing. Okay, let's see. All right, I need some bits now. Poor Tesla.
So I was muted, but Nick joined us. Bleep Nick.
Bleep Nick. Wow, we're having old home week here.
Yeah, and Brett's here. I guess he's been here a while. We just didn't notice.
Brett wasn't, you know what? Brett was afraid to confess that he was late and would have to bring snacks.
Stapler ears, Frank.
Can I change my roll color?
Those lovely ears.
No, rolls are defined by Steve and me. Nose picking part 2. So there's just
those are wing colors.
Those are big honored colors there. Well, Bart, I think Bart is a moderator too, right?
Yeah.
Only the wing woman, wingman, and Bart is a moderator as well. Let's see. That is Bart there, and this is me here. I get rid of that, and you guys can't see any of this, but let's hear how it sounds. Actually, let me put that there. Slide those over to like right there and see how that sounds. All right. To the products I recommend. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time for Security Bits with Bart Booth Shots, and nothing much happened this week, right, Bart?
Right. The scroll bar on my show notes is not giant or is not tiny for any particular reason.
Well, based on what you've told me, actually, we need a chapter mark.
That we do.
Bits. And let me go over here and let me select the name and let me copy and let me go back over here and double tap and let me go back over here and let me right click because Dorothy won't automate this for me. Okay. All right. It is 6 o'clock, so I'm gonna make it. Let's see, where is he? Oh, Bart forgot to stop recording for a really long time. Let's see.
Another 2 weeks. Goodness only knows what will happen in the next 2 weeks. But whatever it is, we'll talk about it. And I guess I should say until then, stay patched and stay secure.
Guess I was supposed to answer that. It sounded like a question at the end.
So there was no reply?
Right.
You didn't reply?
Nope.
Way to treat the co-host.
Oh my gosh, this is a 2-hour show.
Oh, John.
Hour and 50. What?
Instead of the staples, he wants the clipper ears.
Oh. 1 terabyte SATA 3 SSD. Western Digital Blue 1 terabyte SATA SSD. Well, I need that link too. Did George send any links? 512 gig for 78. Willing to take a hit on space and speed. Yeah, and that's an internal drive too.
I think Alan might know TJ.
I checked. He does not. Yeah, I don't like GIFs. Can somebody delete that? No, I'm serious. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't work with that. Thank you. Actually, I'm going to scroll it away because I can't work with.
Done.
It's like apoplectic. Okay, here we go. Wow, that was a long show. We are at an hour and 59 minutes, but I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. That is going to wind us up for this week. Do not forget to send in your dumb questions, comments, and suggestions by emailing me at allison@podfeed.com. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You want to become a Patreon? Podfeed.com/Patreon. You want to join our Facebook group? Podfeed.com/Facebook. Don't want to join our Facebook group, but you like to talk to other NosillaCastaways? Then podfeed.com/Slack is the right place for you to join our Slack group. If you want to join the live chat during the live show, podfeed.com/chat. And if you want to just find some Amazon affiliate links, what do you think you go to? Podfeed.com/Amazon. And if you want to join in the front of the live show, like Kurt, Jamal, and Kaylee did after very long absences, head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Is that enough vocal fry there at the end for you, Steve?
Very fried.
I did a lot of fry. All right. Pop in our closeout music. NosillaCast outro. Do some editing that I bet I should write to the developers and find out why I have to do this every week. I have to do this weird shenanigans to get this to fade up at the end after I talk. They don't have regular ducking.
Yeah, so and they don't even have a good fade.
Well, I think it's a good. Well,
you have to manually do it basically.
Shape it, yeah. Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific. Oh, actually, that should be lower. Get them up there, and that's probably a little bit high then. Time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. That's not bad. A little hot. Down a little bit. Up there a little bit. And maybe like that a little bit. Okay, good enough. Save the salad. Save the sausage. All right. I think we are a wrap. If anybody has any other commentary, they better speak now or forever hold their peace. Wow, it's a good thing we do with chapter markers. I wonder how many people just go to security bits. Uh-oh. What did I do?
Hooniackers.
How many hooniackers? What?
We're talking about peanut. We got on this peanut butter thing, and Kaylee's talking about how expensive peanut butter is there in Japan.
Wow. George, are you going to send me all these links? Okay, why is that going? That's what I want. Okay. Okay, back to the beginning. We're good. File, export, which has a button, but I always forget. Or NosillaCast audio. What is this called? Chit Chat 20. Ah. I need to change the name of this. Hang on. Oh, I bet I can't do that. I don't know why I called it Chit Chat. It's really hard to change the name of a file in Hindenburg because the way they format the files. It's interesting. The main file is actually just metadata. It says she imported this audio, she clipped it here, she clipped it there, she recorded this audio, and it's a whole bunch of WAV files sitting outside of the app, and they're all pointers. So it's kind of an odd little system. But all right, guys, I think we're a wrap. I got a glass of red wine in my future, I think, here. I'm glad you guys all came, and especially the folks that have been away for a while, the prodigal daughters and sons, as it were. Glad to have you guys back.